MedShake.
Hi, I'm Anca, and this is the place to be to hear about the latest tech trends in healthcare. Today, we are unpacking a term that sounds complex but has game-changing implications for medicine: synthetic data. What is it? Why are scientists and doctors so excited about it? And how does it help solve some of healthcare's biggest problems like privacy, cost, and speed of innovation? Stick with me because I promise by the end of this episode, you'll understand synthetic data so clearly you could explain it to your neighbor or your grandmother. Welcome into the MetaHealth. Let's start with a simple definition. Synthetic data is fake but realistic data created by computers. Think of it like a Hollywood movie set. Everything looks real, but nothing really is. That hospital room, a set. That police car, just a prop. Same with synthetic data. It looks like real patient data. It follows the same patterns, has the same kind of details, but it's completely made up by an algorithm. But why would you make fake data? Because using real medical data comes with a lot of hurdles. It's often private, scattered across different hospitals, and locked behind regulations and long approval processes. Even when accessible, it may be incomplete or imbalanced, meaning that there might be not enough cases of a rare disease or enough diversity in the data to train a fair and accurate AI model. But synthetic data isn't just a workaround. It's a powerful tool in its own right. Here are the main reasons people use it. First, privacy and compliance. Since synthetic data doesn't contain any real patient information, it eliminates the risk of exposing private health data. That makes it ideal for sharing between institutions and speeding up research without waiting months for data access approvals. Second, data completeness and balance. Real-world data often has gaps. For example, there might be too few pediatric cases or too few examples of a rare side effect. With synthetic data, you can generate the missing pieces to create a more complete and useful data set. Third, scenario testing. Researchers can use synthetic data to model hypothetical scenarios, like testing a new drug on a simulated population with specific characteristics. This is useful for forecasting, stress testing algorithms, and preparing for edge cases. For instance, in the field of radiology, models are used to create synthetic images of rare tumors that hospitals don't have enough real images of. This lets AI models learn better. In clinical trials, companies create synthetic control groups, so fewer patients need to receive placebos. And some platforms let hospitals generate entire synthetic patient databases for internal and external research, all while ensuring patient privacy. But more on that later. In short, synthetic data doesn't just replace real data. It expands what's possible with data in the first place. So how is synthetic data created? Think of synthetic data as a recipe. First, you study the real thing. Let's say hundreds of real patient records. You find out what ingredients usually go together: age, weight, blood pressure, symptoms, and diagnosis. Then you write a recipe, a set of rules for creating new data that follows those patterns. There are a few main ways to create synthetic data, and they range from simple to highly advanced. First, basic statistical methods. This is like using averages and probabilities to create new data. For example, if we know that most patients with a certain condition are between 50 and 60 years old, we can randomly generate ages in that range to mimic real-world patterns. This method is straightforward, but may miss complex relationships in the data. Second, agent-based or rule-based simulations. Here, developers build models based on known medical rules. For instance, they might say, if a patient has high blood sugar and high blood pressure, there's a good chance they have diabetes. Then, they use those rules to generate synthetic patient profiles. Third, AI-driven approaches like generative adversarial networks. This is more advanced and it uses two competing AIs. One tries to create fake data, and the other tries to detect if it's fake. They keep challenging each other until the generated data looks almost exactly like the real data. This method can generate very detailed and realistic synthetic medical images or health records. Fourth, variational autoencoders, and other type of neural networks. These are AI tools that learn from pattern in real data and then generate new data that follows the same patterns. They're great for generating time series data like heartbeat signals or breathing patterns. In practice, many researchers will combine these methods and use open source tools which build user-friendly platforms based on these techniques. The goal is always the same: generate data that's useful and believable, but entirely artificial. The result, data that behaves like the real thing, but doesn't belong to any real person. Synthetic data solves several massive problems in healthcare. Privacy protection, because synthetic data isn't linked to any real person, there's no risk of violating privacy laws. It's like using mannequins to practice surgery instead of real people. No one really gets hurt. It also improves innovation. Researchers no longer need to wait months for access to real-world data. They can generate synthetic data instantly and start testing new ideas right away. They also allow for the training of better AI models. As you know, AI thrives on data. The more diverse and plentiful the data, the smarter the AI becomes. Synthetic data allows developers to create large, balanced data sets, including rare conditions that might not be well represented in real data. And of course, clinical trials could even get cheaper. Instead of recruiting thousands of patients, researchers can create virtual patients to simulate how treatments work. This speeds up trials and reduces cost. But let's bring this idea to life with some real examples. Let's take AI for radiology, for instance. Hospitals often don't have enough images of rare diseases to train AI models. So researchers use synthetic images generated by AI to fill in the gaps. The AI gets better and the diagnosis gets more accurate. As we have said, we can also use that to simulate clinical trials. Some companies create synthetic twins of trial participants. These twins are used as control groups, meaning that fewer people need to take placebos. Everyone benefits. We can also use synthetic data to test hospital operations. Medtech companies build synthetic models of hospitals to simulate staffing changes, patient flows, and emergency surges. Last but not least, synthetic data can also be used in diabetes management. Some startups use digital twins of diabetic patients to recommend personalized diet and exercise plans. The twin predicts how your body would react before you even try it. Now you might be wondering, how did we get from synthetic data to digital twins? Don't worry, we will explore what digital twins are and how they work in the next episode. So what have we learned so far? First, synthetic data is computer-generated data that mimics real patient data. Second, it helps researchers work faster, protect privacy, and power smarter AI. Third, it's being used right now to improve diagnostics, speed up drug trials, and personalized treatment. And fourth, it's a bit different from a digital twin, but we will cover that in the next episode. So there you have it. Synthetic data is not just a buzzword, it's a powerful tool that helps us solve one of healthcare's biggest puzzles: how to learn from data when it's so hard to access, often incomplete, and carries serious privacy risks. Synthetic data offers a way around all these obstacles. It lets researchers simulate patient data that's both realistic and completely anonymous, so learning and innovation can continue without compromising safety or privacy. That's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you soon for another tech adventure in healthcare.